G'day everybody and welcome back. Well, as you can see, I have been fortunate enough to pick up a right angle head for the mill. Been looking for one of these for a while and they're not real easy to find. Well, I found here in Australia anyway. The spindle size is correct here, but it is a 40 taper where my mill is a 30 taper spindle, which means I'm going to have to strip it down and build a new 30 taper shaft or arbor to be able to use it on my mill. This end here is also a 40 taper, so I'll leave that as a 40 taper, and I'll just have to make up some arbors or keep an eye on the eBay and auction sites for some 40 taper arbors along the way. This is going to be an interesting one. I've never pulled one of these apart, and I have watched a few videos on how they do disassemble, but yeah, I'm going to have to go and watch them again to make sure I have got it right. Anyway, we'll see how this project goes. Just held it in the vise here, it's free to spin. Got to take this back cap off here. I've never pulled one of these apart, so I'm only going on a bit of memory of what I've seen in the videos, and I've got to go and watch some more, but I remember this has got to come apart. So I don't have a proper pin spanner either. One thing I've got to get is a proper pin spanner one day. Oh, there's some circlips in there. And that's what's in there. Heap of grease. Smells old. Tastes old. Certainly plenty of grease in there. Okay, I know it's fairly hard to see in there, but on the bottom of that gear is, well, there was a bolt, Allen key, or Allen headed bolt, countersunks, if you want to call it that. That's what it is. And I'd say that's what holds the gear on. I still haven't been in and watched another video on it yet. I'm wondering if that's the captive washer. After I took that bolt out, this little washer and that, so it's just got to come out, and it does. That's what I have to make. That'll come out pretty easy. So it's got to work out a way to get that out of there now, that bearing, without doing any damage to that gear in there. So I just use a brass drift and tap that gear out of that bearing. So now I've got to try and get that bearing out of there. That all looks in good nick. Like the teeth all look in good nick, the ones what I can see so far. I'll have to go into a bath of petrol and all get cleaned up. Okay, I got that bearing out, but that housing's empty now. Just needs a bloody good clean. Make up a new arbor and reassemble it. That'll come apart way better than, easier than what I was expecting. Alright, I've been away for a couple of days, but before I went, I cleaned up all these parts, and I'm trying to remember where I've been up to. I've gone through the footage a bit, and I did say I was going to replace all these bearings. Well, after I cleaned them all up, they all feel and look spot on, so I'm not going to worry about replacing them. I've gone ahead and made up a Morse taper 5 to a 30 taper adapter that goes in the spindle of the lathe, so when I go to cut or make the new arbor, I can turn the arbor just in the 3-jaw, or turn the 30 taper in the 3-jaw, take the 3-jaw off, put this in the headstock, and then just use this as an example, and I can hold it in the headstock directly, and then it'll keep it concentric. So I made that up this morning. As far as the arbor goes, there's a crucial dimension is the length of this shaft. This portion in here between, say, the back of this bearing and here, I'm going to make that 17mm longer because of the difference in the length of the arbors. Rightio, excuse the mess of the lathe. Like I say, I made that other adapter this morning and the lathe's a mess. If you missed me last episode of building the 30 taper to Morse taper 2, pretty much going to be doing exactly the same thing to cut this taper as I did in the last episode, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. First dimension I have to go down to, I think it's, from memory, is 31.75. So I'll get that smashed off there and then set the compound up, cut the taper. Righto, that is on dimension. Now for a length of, I think it's around 17mm, 17.5, I've got to take it down to 17.15. That'll be that little tail there. Then I can set up the compound to cut the 30 taper. So I've got this TNGG insert already up, so I'll just hack it down with that. It's not going to take too long. Righto, that's that. Now I can set up the compound and cut that 30 taper. I've just turned that light off over the indicator there. I don't know whether you can see that good enough or not, but I've just clocked that in and it's absolutely Mickey Mouse. So I showed this in the last video, and in the description of the last video there is a link to another video where I made a 30 taper and showed the carbide depot calculator, online calculator I use to work out the stack heights for your gauge blocks for your different angles. So go and check that out. I think I'm right to put this taper in. I might just spin that insert. I'll be just starting to lose its edge. Okay, I'm happy enough with that taper. I'm going to drill this for M12. I'm just going to drill it off camera and put the little counter bore in there. I'll get it set up back in the headstock turned around the other way. Start putting the features on this end. Okay, I've just measured this with a depth mic. It's in imperial, so I've converted it back over, so it's 32.92 millimeters from this face to this face, which I have to make that exactly the same, and right on dimension too. And then it has to have a keyway put in it as well, and I can do the keyway at the same time as I put the slot in for the drive dog. So I'm going to touch off, and then I'll bolt this down and bring you guys. It's no good watching me peel all this off. I'll bring you back when I'm getting close to finished dimension. You're not going to miss out on much. Okay, the biggest test will be, does the bearing fit? I haven't put a chamfer on that. Bloody beautiful. That is good. That feels about how the other one fits, but you got to put it on square to get it to start. This also has to have an M6 thread, 20 or 25 mil deep. Okay, I got that all fitted up. Fits up good. Just needs the keyway in it, the drive dogs, then we can assemble this. Everything fits up really nicely. Okay, this keyway has to be 28 mil long. I've done all my calculations correctly. That should be it. Got a slight burr on that key too. That's it. I'm quite confident that's it. Okay, I'm ready to put the dogs, or the slots in for the dogs, for these dogs up here. So 16mm wide and 17mm long. I've got an 8mm carbide end mill, so the end of it will be slightly squarish, which doesn't, it's just appearance, and it has to go down until it touches this flat down here on the end of the taper. So I'll deburr this now with a file, just off camera, and then flip it over and go again. Okay, I've got that turned over, just got a touch off on the top again and on this edge. So what I done was used a bit of 16mm high speed steel. Yeah, just picked up on that flat, and then I ran the indicator across the top here to make sure that is flat. Beautiful. I'll deburr that one. It's ready to start assembling the head. Just out of curiosity. And you're probably wondering whether I got that depth right on that key. Bloody beautiful. Okay, we're just about ready to start doing the reassembly on all this. So I just got to pack these bearings, put a bit in them. It's going to be a messy, crappy job, so I'll just do that off camera. Got to pack that one and this one as well. But these bearings all feel beautiful, so it's not even worth, I'm not going to replace them. Anyway, I'll get these bearings all packed, and then I believe this can all go together as one unit and go in, and the circlip will go over top and be done up. I don't have to do it in, like put this on last once the bearing and so on is in the housing. Being a smaller diameter here, I should be able to get it all together in one go. Got all them bearings packed. I can assemble this back onto this shaft. A tiny bit of Loctite on that, bit of red Loctite on that bolt, and lock it down. Oh, you shit of a thing. that's tight. This can go back in the housing now. Got that gently held in the vise here. It's not in there tight. This can be a bit of a bitch to get started, I reckon. That's in. You've heard that click in, didn't you? This shaft has to go in from this side. This could be a little bit tricky to get started because I don't really want to tap on it. That worked. It actually went in a lot easier than what I thought. I just leant on it a bit and it went in. It's going to be a bit hard to show you this, but I just got to try and get this key in. It's in. Really due for a new end on my grease gun too. Only had it since I was 18. That wasn't yesterday either. What's that, Dal?
You just had a delivery.
Did I? Oh. Thank you. Check that out. Wife just bring me out cappuccino. Check the froth out on that. That's gold, isn't it? Look at that. Heaps of it. Lovely. Cappuccino is bloody beautiful. Now the phone's starting to go off again. Probably going to be in the way a little bit of the camera here, but you're probably going to get up me for this, but I don't have a pin spanner of any type. Yeah, I could make one, but I ain't. I will buy a pin spanner set one day. There is a tiny bit of backlash there, like very minimal, which is probably good. Lock screw up. That is assembled again. Anyway, I'm going to go and get it mounted up on the mill and see how it looks. See if we've had a win. Okay, as you all know, I share my mistakes and I have made a pretty big one on this. I'll just grab this arbor. I screwed up. For some reason in my brain, I thought this had to be roughly the same height to do with how far it goes down on the quill. I've got to machine this taper back so it's about the same height as that one. Like this distance here has to be the same here. I don't know why I thought the other way, but I thought, yeah. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to hold this end in a collet because it's got the keyway and so on in it. Hold this end in a collet, tailstock on this end, machine this taper back and then obviously re-thread it, so on, and we should be right. But I'm not going to worry about showing you that. You've already seen this one made. But yeah, I screwed up. At least it's fixable and I don't have to start completely from scratch again. So I'm going to try and save this one and I'll bring his back when I'm test fitting it on the mill again. Anyway, you win some, you lose some, and I lost this one again. Righto, I've been and rectified the issue. It's a lot different now. A lot shorter. So all I done was held in the collet on that end and returned this taper and cut the dogs back in. We won't talk about that little mark in there. That was a malfunction on my behalf. Anyway, I'll get it back together to the stage I was up to and bring us back. As you can see, I did get impatient and it is all fitted up. And I did clean out that bit of surface rust in that bore there too. So it all fitted up in the end after I screwed that arbor up. I will pull it off and show you down inside there. It all went together perfectly like it did the first time, and it's in vacuum at the moment. As you can see, it all spins lovely. I put a normal grease nipple in here instead of that little button greaser thing. I may just take that back out and put the other little button job back in just so it's not protruding out. So I am super happy the way that all turned out. Really happy. And the colour's almost the same as this mill. Almost. Too bad. Once I put it on and off a few times, I work out the right sequence to do it in. That's how the arbor turned out in the end. You can remember it was way out here. The end of that was way at the end here. But took care of that. I'll tick that project off the list now. Okay, you'll have to excuse the rain in the background, it's pretty wet here. I do apologise, I jumped ahead at the end there, but I just wanted to get it on and see if it was going to work. And like I've done in all my videos, I show my mistakes. I really don't understand why I was thinking the new arbor had to be the same length. I don't know what I was thinking, but it worked out in the end and it's working fine now. This Morse 5 to NT30 worked a treat. So that's going to be handy for making other arbors later on, 30 taper arbors in the future. And I'm probably not going to show it, but over the next whenever, I'll make some 40 taper arbors. And I may even jump online and see what's around, what's on sale. So if there's any on sale at a reasonable price, I might just grab them instead of building them. So a lot of time it is cheaper to buy it than build it. But overall, I'm really happy with the way that all come apart and the way it all went back together. It was really close. I almost made a whole new shaft for this end with a 30 taper in it. But when the more I looked at it, there's a power of material to come off to reduce down to the shaft size. So it probably would have been another day stuffing around just to make another shaft. So I just thought just leave it at a 40 taper. And one day I might even get a mill that is 40 taper. So can't see it happening, but I'll keep this arbor just in case, and I can convert it back. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. It's probably a little bit scattered, the video, but it's the way it is. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one, which I have no idea what I'm going to do next. Hooroo!